It's almost like after the Evolving Skies boom and the Moonbreon boom and all the Sword and Shield alternate art boom leveled off a little bit, everybody started going after this product. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. You're watching the channel Dr. Applesauce 2. My name's Will. It's another beautiful day here in Texas. I hope you guys know that I love you, God loves you, and that there is an awesome plan for your life. Today, because a bunch of y'all commented on the video that I made a couple days ago, I want to talk about the Eeveelution's Vmax Premium Collection Boxes. It's a really cool product that honestly sold out really fast and only saw a few restocks. When it initially came out, I did buy a set to open so I could have the promos for myself, and then I found a restock about a year or so ago of all three of them, and I managed to pick them all up for my personal collection. And nobody's surprised, but they are going up in value. The interesting thing is, though, is they're seeing a pretty remarkable rapid spike in value. Like, they've just kind of constantly been slowly creeping up. Just such good products. And I think they're so wonderful because they have packs that people want, and obviously the promos that are inside of them, right? And so these have been some collection boxes that have just been consistently going up for a while, but about a month ago, they saw a really big spike. Excuse me while I put these back here so they don't fall over and get all messed up. They saw a really big spike about a month ago, and it kind of lines up with something else that's really interesting. And these are boxes that are pretty dang expensive now. I think MSRP on these was $40. So let's take a look at all of them just to look at it and see kind of when they started really spiking, because I find that to be really interesting. And if this is something that you don't have, it's going to cost a lot of money to get it. I don't see a restock of these coming again. The last restock I saw, like I said, was around a year ago, maybe more. And it's just such a big product. And some of the single promos you can get relatively affordable. I even remember watching Twice Baked Jake make a video, I would say about maybe about a year ago, maybe less, opening these to find out a bunch of them were resealed. That was a wild video. I think he called it the problem with modern Pokemon cards or something like that. So let me know down below if you've been able to get these. Let's look at the numbers on all these, and there's something really interesting about it that I want to show you. Okay, so first up, let's take a look at the Jolteon box. Everybody knows what this box looks like, and right now it's got a market price of about $120, which is about, I think, 3 times what the retail was. I think these were $40 retail. And if we look, we can see the listed medium price is actually $200, which is insane. And if we look at more sales data, you can see that there's a lot of these selling pretty regularly, and pretty regularly, and at least in June, you can just see a constant increase, a lot of sales around the $120 price point. And then we go down here to March, and we can see just a few months ago they were selling for about $70-ish, and then there's been just a slow constant increase, which is what we're going to see pretty much through all of them. So this is the Jolteon, and then you can see here we got a year-long graph. This is something that we're going to look at with all of these, right? Okay. So we look at about a year ago, about $75, still about double of what the MSRP on them was. A slow, steady increase, and then right here in May, we see this massive jump from around $90 a box, which is still high, to a huge jump from $90 to $120. Pretty standard what we're going to see in a bunch of them in the next few boxes, and you can see just some insane prices listed. Like, there's only 9 listed. There's not a lot on TCG Player. We have 1 unopened for $122, but it's not from a verified seller. And then we have $170, $150, $199, $400. I would assume if we click into that, it's probably the set, I would assume, but I don't want to click into that right now. So yeah, part of it is there's not a lot on the market. Look, 10 here, and then 2 of them are some weird wild things that shouldn't even be there. 175 on the Vaporeon, 180, 200. So the prices that people have them listed for are insane, and there's not a lot listed on TCG Player. So we're going to see the same thing pretty much here over with Vaporeon. We can go back all the way to March, and we'll see it around $90, and then a constant, just slow, steady increase. And then if we go over here and we look, this one has a market price of about $130. But if we look at our year-long graph on this this Eeveelution's Premium Collection box, the Vaporeon one, we see about the same, around $75 to $80 a year ago in July. And then a pretty just consistent gradual increase. And then what, again, around May of this year, a quick fat spike. Boom. Quick, huge spike around May of this year. Let's go to the Flareon, see if the Flareon does the same thing. So Flareon's a little bit more interesting because Flareon has had a pretty level, but then again, what? Boom, right here, May, around the same time as the other ones, one huge boom. It's like they're all booming right at the same time. I'm gonna show you something else here in a second that's a little more interesting. But same here, we can look at all the sales data. We go back to March, we'll see that it was selling, you know, around that same price. And then there's just not a lot of it. There's 15 of the Flareon available. So there's a lot more of the Flareon available at, you know, if you want to call it reasonable, at 3 times MSRP. There's a lot more of those available, but still 15 on TCG Player really isn't a whole lot. Now, here's the interesting thing that I wanna take a look at. Okay, so we saw that the Jolteon, so right around May of 2024, there's the huge jump on all 3 of them: Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon, all having that huge jump around May of 2024. Okay, so let's look at the Evolving Skies booster box, okay? Evolving Skies booster box, if we're looking at the year-long mark, we're seeing where everything was a little consistent, and then here at the end of last year, we started seeing these huge spike, and then a level off, all right? Huge spike and then a level off. Well, what's right here around this level off time? April to May of 2024. Okay, what else was spiking at that time? Let's look at the Umbreon Vmax, all right? So Umbreon Vmax, we got a year. All right, so we got the consistency and then our huge spike, and then when it starts to dip and level off, what's the time frame? May of 2024. So the next alternate art that was really, I'm just using a few of the more popular alternate arts and products that were spiking at that time. There was a lot that were spiking at that time, but Giratina is another one that's more popular. Look, here we are, our huge spike, and then where do we start to level off and fall off a little? Now granted, these, you see right here, May of 2024, there's when the rise stopped, right? The rise stopped and did fall off a little bit, but even though it fell off, it went from 476 to 389, which is still, you know, a lot more than it was, so it's still a pretty big increase. But it's interesting that all of these, right when the hype and the prices started leveling out on these super hyped products, is right about the time that all of the Eeveelution VMAX Premium Collection started spiking crazy. We got the Gengar VMAX alternate art, also, you know, another one that spiked a lot. Look right here, February of 2024, huge spike. When's the spike end? May of 2024. So why is this interesting? This is interesting to me because the Eeveelution's Premium VMAX collection boxes started spiking in May of 2024, about a month ago. They saw that huge spike, all from around $90, $80 a box to about $120, $130 a box. It's a pretty significant spike. That's anywhere from about 45% to about, you know, 30% of a spike, which is very significant in a roughly 30-day period, because it's the end of June here. So yeah, roughly 30-day period. And I find that really interesting because those spikes started, which means the buyouts or people panicking to buy them or whatever you want to call it, people started buying those at a lot higher prices right at the same time all of these products like the Evolving Skies booster box and the big alternate arts that were really, really hyped, right when those stopped increasing in value. So what does this mean? My speculation is once people realized, okay, we're getting too high and too expensive, it's way too expensive to start buying Evolving Skies and the Moonbreon and the Giratina V and the Gengar VMAX and the other things that were spiking at that time. What's the next thing that we can look at? And people started looking at these. Well, hey, these are only about double MSRP. This is a good thing to start buying, and you know, we can buy it at 80 and probably get it to sell for 120, 130, or hold on to it and watch it continue to go up. So I think people, when people realized how expensive some of the stuff that was super hyped from the Sword and Shield era was getting, this is one of the products that they moved to, along with a bunch of other products, but specifically this one. And it's a home run product. You get a coin, you get a pin of either Jolteon, Flareon, Vaporeon. You get the requisite V and VMAX promos, as well as a bunch of packs, which there's some Evolving Skies in there. It's a nice little mix of Sword and Shield packs. So that's what I think happened with that product. And it's interesting and it's unfortunate because it means I wouldn't buy these for $120 a box. No, I picked them up at MSRP. Now I have a set, and one day I'm going to redo all of this and be able to have some of my Pokemon cards back in the background. But it's interesting to see and how you can watch and predict, okay, if something's going up in value, there's going to become a time. So like all of that Evolving Skies and all of those alternate arts went up in value, there's going to be a time when the value gets too high too fast and people are going to turn to something else. And what's that something else going to be? In this case, it was this product as well as some other products. So I'd love to know what you guys think. Drop me a comment down below. What do you think about this product? Do you think it's worth it? I think it's a home run product. I think over time it's going to be really, really cool. It's very unique and really, really well done, especially since you can't pull those alternate art Eeveelutions from Evolving Skies, you have to get them in these boxes. So if you want the Alternate Art Eeveelution Master Set, you have to have those promos from those boxes. It's a cool product, but I want to know what you guys think. Drop me a comment down below. If you enjoyed this one, give it a thumbs up. Giving the videos thumbs ups and subscribing and hitting the notification bell, it's a great way to support the channel and to support me, and it's absolutely free for you to do it. If you like this one, check that one out. YouTube says you'll like that video too, and like I always say, find somebody to love and serve today. Be the change you want to see in the world. See you next time.